Not to like overreact or anything, we're going up, aren't we? Bradford City have just picked up a massive 3 points. They travelled down to Bromley on a Tuesday night, and Bobby Pointon's 82nd minute strike was enough to seal Bradford City's second away win since October the 12th. We've only had 4 away wins now so far this season, and we've got a massive 3 points away at a tough place to go in Bromley, who won 3 on the spin going into this game. This is absolutely massive for Graham Alexander's side. If you do go on to enjoy today's video, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. But it was a total domination in this game from Graham Alexander's side. We go back to the starting 11 then. There was, I believe, 4 changes from Saturday. We had Sam Walker in goal, a back 3 of Baldwin, Huntington and Shepherd came back in. We also had Brad Halliday and Lewis Richards as the wing backs, with Smallwood and Kayla as the holding midfielders, Sass and Pointon as the 10s, with Mellon leading the line. Obviously Shepherd coming back from suspension, Huntington's first start in quite a while, Brandon Kayla getting his first start in a Bradford City shirt, and Lewis Richards' first start for the football club for a fair few weeks. I think he's missed the last 4 or 5 games with that shoulder injury. He did unfortunately have to be subbed off on the 40th minute or around that sort of time, just before half time. We didn't really see what happened, but he was down holding his hamstring, so I'm hoping that's not a serious problem for him. But again, were Bradford City robbed by the officials? I haven't had the benefit of watching the goal back on a replay, but I've seen a screenshot which I'll try and overlay at this moment in time, where the ball has already left the foot of Michael Mellon, but Sass still looks onside there, and obviously it would be very hard for Sass to slow his run down while the ball's being played, so it is hard to tell. The line's clearly very far behind play, but to me, I think at the time I thought he was offside. Let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. A lot of Bradford City fans claiming that once again we have been robbed by the officials, but we've done the double over Bromley, and I was looking at the starting 11 going into the game, and I was very happy with it. Delighted to see Lewis Richards come back in. I thought it made sense to give Kayla a start over Patterson. This is the team that I would have picked if I would have known Lewis Richards was fit. Obviously I didn't know that, and I had Adaramola in there, but absolutely no complaints from me going into this game with the starting 11. In terms of the first half then, we didn't really have many clear-cut chances. We had the odd half chance. I thought Mellon linked the play very nicely, but then at times was giving it away a bit sloppily. Same with Bobby Pointon. Looked good at times, and other times a little bit sloppy in possession, and we just couldn't quite create that clear-cut chance for us to take in that first half. Bromley offered absolutely nothing. Their only half chance really came from a set play, which was well worked to be fair, but I must admit I was very surprised to see how defensive they were, how happy they were to, you know, concede possession and just let us have the ball. They weren't really pressing, and when you're not really creating chances then for Michael Cheek, he seemed very useless at the top end of the pitch. I thought Huntington all night marshalled him very well, and we just got the job done. In terms of the second half, we kind of had to build into it for the first 15 or so minutes in that second half. Not a lot really did happen, but then we started really piling on the pressure. Their keeper makes 2 really good saves. The first one is a cross from Bobby Pointon, which is headed by Brad Halliday. To be fair, it was straight at the keeper, and you would expect him to save it, but then Brandon Kayla picks up the second ball, digs that across, and Michael Mellon with an excellent header at the back post, and somehow the Bromley keeper keeps it out of the back of the net. I've no idea how he managed to save that, but we eventually got our breakthrough. We made a couple of substitutions, a triple change, and I thought, Tommy Lee's he really the answer? I was wanting Walker and Patterson to come on 15 minutes before that, but brilliant play from Brad Halliday to win the ball back. An excellent turn from Jamie Walker. He then rides over a challenge, plays the ball to Bobby Pointon, who's got a lot of work to be done. A lot of young players in that position who would just smash the ball straight at the defender. He keeps his composure, makes sure he gets around him and finishes into the back of the net, and it was massive relief for those Bradford City fans. Nearly 500 travelled down on a Tuesday night. Big respect to everybody who did make that journey. I'm sure they'll be getting back at 3-4 in the morning, but they'll definitely be feeling like it was worth it after that goal. A brilliant strike from Pointon, and there's fans on the pitch, there's limbs in the away end, and for some reason Pointon gets booked, which I think is very harsh, but the referee did seem very busy. Although to be fair, we've had a lot worse so far this season. I know the offside decisions caused a little bit of controversy all over social media, but apart from that, I thought on the whole the referee had a pretty solid game, especially compared to recent standards. And at that point it was just about seeing the game out. We saw Neil Byrne come onto the pitch. He went into the back 3. Aidan Baldwin moved up into the midfield. Alex Patterson moved up into the number 10 position, I believe, or I don't know if we went to a flat 3 midfield, but either way Aidan Baldwin was in midfield. But you can see by the stats, Bromley didn't really create much. They had a good header right near the end of the game, which was well saved by Sam Walker. Again, I've been a big critic of Sam Walker up until Christmas. Since then though, I really do think he has turned his season around, and yet another clean sheet for him. Absolutely brilliant from Sam Walker. And as much as the League 2 table looks pretty good, doesn't it? Bradford City is second in the table. It is still, unfortunately, not in our hands. Obviously, we've now played the same amount of games as Doncaster. We're 2 points clear of them with a better goal difference. Wimbledon have a game in hand. If they win that, they go back above us with their better goal difference. Same can be said about Notts County. Port Vale have 2 games in hand on us. If they win both of them, it would take them up to 61 points. So again, they would go back above us. So we can still drop down to 5th in the table, I believe. But it now puts the pressure on Wimbledon. It puts the pressure on Notts County. It puts big pressure on Port Vale to win both of their games in hand. And if you're a Bradford City fan, you're feeling very confident going into the back end of this season. 13 games to go, 13 cup finals. Do you believe? Is it time to start believing that Bradford City could be a League One football club next season? Obviously, tomorrow over on More SHD, make sure to go subscribe if you haven't already. We'll go through this game in even more detail, but I just did quickly want to show you the form table for Bradford City. Yes, the actual table looks very nice, but in terms of the last 5 matches, Bradford City are joint top only on goals scored. Are we not first at the moment? We've not conceded a goal in our last 5. In terms of the last 10 games, Bradford City are the best team in the entire division. We've won 8 of our last 10, only conceded 2 goals in that time as well. In terms of the last 15 games, Bradford City are top. We've only lost 2 games out of our last 15. We've won 11 of our last 15, 5 points clear of Walsall, and then you get to 20 and we're third, 25 and we're second, 30 we're down to 4th. But since really the majority of this season, we have been very good. And don't forget, we didn't win for 2 months. And we're second in the table. It goes to show how poor this league is. But last 15 matches, we won 11 of them. Bradford City, if they continue their form, if we continue this form together as one between now and the end of the season, I don't see a world in which we aren't a League One football club. But there's still plenty of time left in the season. We have to keep level-headed. I'm very confident Graham Alexander will have them all mentally refreshed ahead of Saturday. Tough game away to Salford City, who are obviously 9th in the table at the moment. They've been on a pretty bad run of form. Salford are a pretty decent team at home, so that's going to be no easy game on Saturday. They're 7th in terms of their home form. They've only lost 5 games at home so far this season, but their overall form recently hasn't been amazing, so it's an opportunity for us to go there and get the win. But tonight, we've got to give the players big credit. Shout out to Jamie Walker, because at one point in January, I thought we weren't going to see him play for Bradford City again. I thought he was going to leave the football club, and I kind of accepted that. I thought it was best for all parties, but he got his chance at Rotherham. He worked his way back into the side and is impacting the game. You think we signed George Lapsley in January on a 2.5-year contract, and he can't get a sniff of football because people like Jamie Walker are coming on off the bench, having an impact on the game. Bobby Pointon scoring goals, Anthony Sarswick's flying as well. So I do feel a bit sorry for George Lapsley, but I don't think he can really have any complaints because the players ahead of him are playing very well. We're winning football matches. I don't think it will show me on flash score. Bobby Pointon starts for this season, but in terms of League 2 games, and he's played in 30 matches so far this season for Bradford City, and 21 of them have been starts. Don't forget, Pointon was like 5th or 6th choice attacking midfielder at the start of the season. Clark Adore was getting minutes over him, but he's got 4 goals now in the league, averaging a goal every less than 500 minutes, which I think is very good. He's also got 5 assists. I think he's already got better than last season, where he got 4 goals and 3 assists last campaign. Yes, obviously he has played a lot more football so far this season, but Bobby Pointon's developing. Big credit has to go to Graham Alexander. He's getting the best out of his team. What a talent this man is, and how many experienced pros with hundreds of EFL games under their belt have failed to deliver the expectation of Bradford City, whereas 21-year-old boyhood Bradford City fan Bobby Pointon is making sure promotion happens this season. I'm very, very confident under it. Graham Alexander, I think, is the right man for the job. I wasn't convinced by his appointment at the start, but he's definitely proved me wrong as of right now. I hope we can continue this form between now and the end of the season, and when we start getting some more players back from injury as well, our squad is only going to look stronger. But a brilliant 3 points. Let's go and back it up on Saturday with hopefully another win. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. 150 likes as always would be massively appreciated, and up them fucking chickens.